I'm Michael Cheek. Welcome to MikesGuitarLessons.com. And what you heard just there and saw me playing was the beginning of Just What I Needed by the Cars. It's not too complicated. There are some bar chords in it. You could substitute power chords for them, but I'm going to show you the bar chords right here that are in this beginning of the song. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, if you're not familiar with the strings, just a real quick review. I'm going to name these strings a lot, so I need you to know what I'm talking about. So this is the E string, this is the B string. I should say this is the first E string, or the skinny one. This is the B string, the G, the D, the A, and then the sixth E string, or the thick E string. Okay? Now that we got that out of the way, just so you know what I'm talking about when I name these strings, let's start off with that first chord. Now, in the beginning, you hear him just playing a power chord, but then a full E bar chord comes in between. And what I'm talking about is you've got the power chords here, and then you hear the full chord come in, like that. So what that is let's hold down that chord to start with. Let's put your first finger on the 7th fret of the A string, okay? And your third finger is going to hold down the 9th fret on the D, the G, and the B strings. Okay? So those four strings in the middle of the neck. Now, what you're going to start off doing is palm muting just the power chord. So what that is the 7th fret on the A string and the 9th fret on the D string. You're going to palm mute it 6 times. I was just counting in my head there. You're going to palm mute it 6 times before you play the full chord. So remember, palm muting is just where you touch the strings back here with the heel of your hand, like that, so that they're not ringing out, okay? If you're up too far, it'll sound like that. And if you're too far back, then they'll just sound like normal chords, okay? So palm mute that chord, those 2 strings, 6 times. And then what you're going to do is strum all the way through without palm muting all of these notes. So you do the 7th fret on the A string, the 9th on the D, G, and B string. Just like that. So it's going to sound like this. Okay? Now you're going to do that 4 times in a row. Okay? Now after that, you're pretty much going to do the same thing. Except you strum the full chord without palm muting 2 times instead of 1. And you're going to do that 4 times. So that's going to sound like this. Okay? So the intro is going to sound like this. Now, what you're going to do after that is go into the verse. He starts singing right there. So now we're going to be playing power chords for a little while and not worrying about any full bar chords or anything. So now you're just worrying about your first finger on the 7th fret of the A string, and you're going to press down the 9th fret on the D string with your 3rd finger, and that's it. You're going to palm mute this power chord, and you're going to strum each one of these power chords 8 times. So this first one's going to sound like this. Then you're going to move up a string to 7th on the E string, thick E string, and 9th on the A string, and palm mute that 8 times. Then you're going to stay on those same strings, but slide up 2 frets. So your first finger goes to the 9th fret on the E string, and your 3rd finger goes to the 11th fret on the A string. Palm mute that 8 times. And then all the way down, same strings, but all the way down to the 4th fret on the E string with your first finger, and the 6th fret on the A string with your 3rd finger. Palm mute that 8 times. Okay? Now, you're going to do that chord progression 3 times in a row. Okay? So that'll sound like this. get to this, I've gone through it 3 times, and I get to this last chord here. Instead of just palm muting 8 times, I still strum it 8 times, but I let off the palm mute a little bit and just start strumming it a little bit harder. Okay? And then we switch to the next. It's actually similar chords, but they're played different. We're going to go to a full E major chord here. Okay? And what that is, if you don't know, is open on the thick E string. My middle finger's playing the 2nd fret on the A string. My 3rd finger's playing the 2nd fret on the D string. My 1st finger's playing the 1st fret on the G. The B string is open, and the E string is open. Okay? That's your E major right there. And we are actually going to change the chord a little bit by using our pinky. We're going to go. So it's going to sound like. And then. Okay, so what that is I'm putting my pinky. I'm starting with the regular major chord, but I'm putting my pinky on the G string in the 2nd fret. I put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up. So I go. Okay, you see that? Alright, then I go to a B bar chord. Another, well, let me just show you how to do it. It's a lot like that E up here, except it's just down in the 2nd and 4th fret. So my 1st finger's playing the 2nd fret of the A string, and my 3rd finger's playing the 4th fret on the D, the G, and the B. Okay, and I'm going to use my pinky finger here to change this chord a little bit too. Okay, so the way I do that is my pinky goes down on the B string in the 5th fret to make that change, and I go down, up, but that was the same way I did it on the E major chord. Copy that rhythm that I'm playing. After I play those 2 chords, then I'm going back to power chords. And I'm going to play the 4th fret on the E string, the thick E string, and I'm going to play the 6th fret on the A string. And I don't palm mute here, I just play them. And then from there I slide up 1 fret with each finger, so my 1st finger goes to the 5th fret on the E string. My 3rd finger goes to the 7th fret on the A string, and I play that power chord. And that's the end of the intro. Okay? I don't have quite enough time to show you the song played over again because I'm running out of time, but just go to the beginning of the video to